All right, I'm going to show you one of my favorite dishes. This is a mushroom asparagus risotto. It's going to start off with some asparagus. We have fresh mushrooms. Here I have some domestic. You can use shiitake, cremini, whatever you like. We have some arborio rice, risotto rice. We have some shredded parm, shredded carrot, green onions. And here is actually my secret. This is cream of mushroom. It's a 50-ounce cream of mushroom. I'm going to add some of that for that mushroom flavor. It's going to give it that nice earthy tone. And then we're going to add some of that chicken broth. Again, more flavor, and just a little water to help blend all the flavors. We're going to cover that, let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes, and then we can taste it. So let's get started. Let's start off with a little oil. Got a nice hot pan. Give that second for that oil kind of warm up. Here's a key step that you can really add flavor. You want to saute some garlic and some onions. You want to do it until it's translucent. And what's that mean? Really, until you kind of see through it. You don't want to over caramelize here, so keep an eye on it, stir it, because they will burn and brown quickly. So let's start with some asparagus. Now, these are asparagus tips, just sliced real thin. And went about a quarter way down. Got a little of the body in there, but you don't want to use the ends. The ends of the asparagus are woody, so they're really tough to chew. Here again is the domestic mushrooms. Just want to sweat this down a little bit, get the mushrooms nice and tender before we move to the next step. We're ready to add the rice. Now how can you tell? Well, you can see some of the liquid from the mushrooms have began to leach out, so they're nice and ready to go. So we're going to add some of our rice. Just enough to cover. And what I want to do is I want to stir everything around, make sure the rice has enough time to get some of that direct heat from the pan, add a little nutty flavor by letting the rice kind of saute a little bit. So let's add some shredded carrot. You can add peppers, green onions. I like the carrots. And we're going to add some green onions. I want to save a little of the green onions and some of the Parmesan that we used earlier. We're going to use that as the garnish. So we're going to stir everything around. And remember I talked about adding the 50-ounce mushroom, cream of mushroom. What's great about this, again, it's going to add that little extra mushroom boost. Great flavor. Here is our condensed 26-ounce chicken broth. Just enough to cover. I'm going to stir everything in, get incorporated. It's important here to stir so nothing sticks to the bottom. There, we're going to add a little more chicken broth. And now just a little water. All right, once that comes to a simmer, we're just going to put a lid on it. We're going to let that simmer and cook for about 15 minutes, and then we're ready to plate up and taste it. All right, let's take a look under the lid and see how we're doing. All right, it looks great. I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese to finish. It's a great way to add some creaminess to it. Now don't be afraid. If it is a little dry, you can add some more broth. So as you're cooking, peek under the lid, and if you need to, add broth as you go. Let's stir this in, plate it up, and let's have a taste. Get a nice little pile on here. The cheese really gives it that nice creaminess. Nice balanced flavor throughout from our broth. And let's garnish it. There you go. Mushroom asparagus risotto made with condensed chicken broth.